Hello, dear friends. Here we are, 40 nights with the Promised Consoler. This is night or day 24. Yes, and we've titled it, as you can see, Performing the True Good. It's actually chapter 35, titled Unexpected Observation, from the book Luz Acima by Humberto de Campos through the medium Chico Xavier. But this book is not yet in English, so we are releasing here the translation that Carlos made and we've revised to you, so we can use it as our therapeutic foundation for the conversation we need in order to empower ourselves. Okay, so let us not forget these 40 days, 40 nights with the Promised Consoler. Some people ask, Vanessa, what is the Promised Consoler? If you go to the Spirit's book by Allan Kardec or the book Genesis by Allan Kardec, you're going to get to know that Kardec came to understand that when Jesus said more than 2,000 years ago, that he couldn't say everything. He couldn't. People wouldn't understand. But he promised he would send one day the Promised Consoler, which would stay with us until the end of times and could say to us things that he couldn't have said at the time. What do you think about it? Is it the Promised Consoler or what? And no, the other question some people ask is, why do we need a consoler, a comforter? Well, if people don't see the reason, probably they're feeling healthy, so probably they don't need it, because as Jesus said, he came for those who need help, who need health, who need healing, who need balance, who need strength, who need harmony, who need peace. But for those who feel they already have it all, okay, then don't mind about it. But this is a message that comes for those who feel they need this help. I think I do need. Do you feel you need it? Do you? Yes? So let us say hi to our beautiful community here. Say hi to everyone. And rejoice, because it's a true gift for us, the opportunity of being together. I know many people who would be willing to be here, to be with us, but for whatever circumstances they can't. So we rejoice and we send them our best, hoping that they can watch this later and they can spread the news too. Hello, Katya, how are you? You know, I feel very joyful of being here and seeing you, Katya. Seeing you, Angelita. How are you? And Adilson. How are you, Adilson? Hello, Rihanna. How are you, Rihanna? Constance. How are you, Constance? Sunshine. Welcome, welcome. And Spiritism in Nevada County, right? Hello, Valeria. How are you? Hello, Cesa. How are you? And the sunflower, right? Lea Severo, how are you? And Melissa. Hello, Jussara. How are you? Lea, did you like the Moana video? You know, I tell you, God is giving inspiration to everybody, not only to us. No, no, no. When you see all these beautiful movies that are books, movies, you can tell they are reaching out to everyone in this world. Nobody's left behind at all. And the Moana movie is a must, not only for children or youth, but for all of us, right? Hello, hello, Christian Spiritist Center of Alabama. That's beautiful. We rejoice knowing that you guys are there. And Here we are, friends. Hello, Rita de Cássia. How are you? Deb Oliveira. How are you, Deb? Where are you coming from, Deb? Do you mind sharing with us? Hello, Raquel. We're grateful to you. You are amazing, Melissa. Yes, we are all from all over the United States and the world. That's a sure thing. This is an international connection we put together to make sure that we stay stronger together in these very challenging times. But we're gonna make it together. Hello, Luciane Antoine. How are you? Thank you, Deb. You're from Orlando. Oh, Orlando. Talking about Disney, there's Deb. From Orlando. Yes, here we are. Friends, this chapter is probably the shortest we've read this far. But, as always, Humberto de Campos brings to us unprecedented messages from Jesus and the non-verbal lessons that are so deeply inspirational. Probably many people had no idea about this whole Jesus, the holistic Jesus that we're talking about. When we say holistic, we're talking about one that speaks, but also emanates through his emotional body language, the teachings. The bottom line of it all is coherence. Jesus is a master of coherence. He doesn't think one thing and says another, feels something else and does something else. No. He's a complete master, one that through his body language and words, he is completely one in synchronicity with God through his whole self. So that's the role model for us, okay? All right. So here we have our dear Freddy Gouveia. Freddy Gouveia. Welcome, my friend. And Jussara is here saying, we hope to see you all. That's exactly what we're saying. Thank you, Jussara. The symposium, friends, of all the meetings that happen in the United States of America, there is the United States Spiritist Symposium. And I tell you, you're going to say, but Vanessa, Divaldo Franco is there. Say, my friend, Divaldo Franco does his job everywhere, but we need people to do the works in the English-speaking language. We love Divaldo. We love every single speaker in this world who is doing a great job. But I tell you, in the United States, we have this unique event that has been happening for 10 years. And the goal is to get our community together and empower it. Empower it. I remember when Ben Franklin, yes, the founding father, gave us the message of we were in Baltimore, about how to do it, when to do it, etc., etc. So it's a God-sent organization. Do you doubt the good spirits are going to be there? Of all these years, all of them have been there, and I tell you this thing, fantastic spirits, always there, great speakers, great organization. It's a true spiritual retreat. It's a retreat. You learn things you've never heard before because our speakers are truly studious. Plus, we bring the message in the major language in this country. You know? So you can bring a friend. Go to Orlando. It's cheap to go to Orlando. It's very cheap. Of all places, it's the most inexpensive to fly through to wherever you are in the United States. And you can get to know of everybody who is doing great works throughout. And I tell you, from day one, when we did in Baltimore 2007, to this day, as Jussara said, it's an exponential growth, right? We hope to see you there. Thank you, Rita Di Cassia. And Jussara saying the winners of Kardec Radio Promotion will get the tickets for free as well. Ooh, yes, exactly. That's the reminder of the campaign. How about winning a free flight to Orlando? All you need to do is take your phone, make a video, very creative in the sense of what you're going to say, how you're going to say it, and in 5 minutes max, just say why you like Kardec Radio and why you think God is so loving and just when He allowed us to reincarnate. That's all you have to do. Send it to us at Kardec Radio, and the winner's going to get a free ticket. 2 winners. We're going to get 2 winners, okay? Go for it. Even if you have bought the ticket, right, Felipe? You bought the ticket, but you can still get the money for your For us, it doesn't matter if you have bought it or not. What matters is you do the video, and you may win it. Why not? Hello, Margaret. Hello, hello, hello. You're registered, Leia Severo. Good job. I'm looking forward, counting the days to meet you in person. And Jussara is saying firsthand, we're going to have a welcome station that among others will offer fraternal conversation. Yay! Thank you, Jussara. I'll be there for sure. Right on, right on, right on. Count on me, count on me. And can we chant here, friends? Count on us, right? Yes, so friends, here we are. Ready? Now after all this wonderful news Jussara is giving us, thank you, Jussara. Today we're going to celebrate. Yes, friends, be prepared, because this feeling we're having right here is the feeling that Jesus brought us. Listen to this and you will rejoice. Unexpected observation. Even the title is fascinating. I'm going to read it all because it's short, and then we're going to talk, do therapeutic exercises, and deepen our feelings, okay? Ana Oliveira, you're in Alabama. Come, send a clip. Maybe you'll be the winner. Please send a clip the campaign of Kardec Radio. You can win the trip. It's gonna be easy for you, okay? I hope you'll be there. It's gonna be a joy to have you there. Let's go. As soon as Jesus' fame spread out, it was said around Gennesaret that the Messiah never missed an opportunity to teach the good through the landscapes of nature. Before the turbulent waves, Jesus talked about the passions that devastated the individuals. Contemplating some nest with tender baby birds, He exalted the sublimity of family ties. In front of wild flowers, Jesus praised the tranquility and the security of simple things. This is chapter 35 of the book Luz Acima. 35 from the book Luz Acima. Listening to bird songs, Jesus referred to the harmonies from above. There was a time when He extracted a glorious symbol for faith from a mustard seed. On a blazing afternoon of consoling preaching, Jesus found unforgettable images of the kingdom of God by recalling a wheat field. He spoke of heavenly love by drawing upon a lost drachma. There came an instant, oh divine surprise, in which the Christ had subtracted an unfortunate sinner from stoning using words that denounce his perfect understanding of justice. His wisdom was recognized and proclaimed, compelling the disciples to request noble references and wise words, no matter how much they took turns in exposing human wounds and wickedness. Curious to assimilate his concepts of life, the Master showed incessant resources to discover the best side of it all. Unlike anyone, Jesus knew how to advocate the cause of the unfortunate and to identify mitigating factors for the faults of others, keeping the respect he always consecrated to order. He openly fought evil and whipped sin. However, Jesus was invariably ready for the relief and support of the victims. If he stood up against the monster of wickedness and ignorance, he was never observed without compassion for the unhappy and bankrupt of luck. He always encouraged and cheered people up. He stimulated the superior qualities without rest. He astonished anyone with illuminated angles on apparently dark scenarios. Impressed by that feature of Jesus, James and John, on the way back from their brief stay at Caesarea, were astonished at the case of a confessed thief who had been dramatically taken to prison. Arriving in Capernaum on return, James told his brother after mentioning the prisoner's difficulties. What would the Lord say if he knew of the case? Would Jesus draw beneficial lessons from such a scabrous event? Being heard by his brother with undisguised interest, James concluded, I will tell the Messiah what happened. Pause. This is like an intermission for us. Let us observe before we get to the end. I'm not going to read to the end. Because Mentor Joseph is saying we need to focus, to understand the wrap-up. We need to focus on what Humberto de Campos has disclosed to us this far. He is describing, literally, in this article, he is describing a major characteristic of Jesus. But let's not forget, and make no mistake, he is your guiding model, my guiding model, our guiding model. He is our guiding model. He is our guiding model, right? And he incarnated to teach us to do good. He is our guiding model. So let us observe. He never missed an opportunity to teach the good through the analogies of nature. So, by contemplating the nest of birds, he talked about the sublimity of family ties. By observing wildflowers, he praised the tranquility and security of simple things. Pause. The other day, our family was home, and there was this question, should we go out and do something? Because that day, particularly in the afternoon, we had nothing scheduled on purpose because we scheduled it for family time. You know, and then I said, should we do something? And I heard the voice of the spirit friend saying, remember of Jesus' teaching about the tranquility and security of the simple things. Rejoice in your family being at home. Find the joy. And it became an adventure, trying to find and feel in the simplicity and tranquility the joy of being at home. And he was right. And Jesus is right. We need to practice more often, friends, this tranquility and security that comes from simple things. And we can only do it when we are mindful, right? Hello, Enilda. How are you? Hello, Tanya. Melissa, James, and Tiago are the same, okay? Hello, Julio. Vanessa, ladies. Vanessa, my friend, I hope to see you in the symposium in Orlando, since you are in Orlando, okay? You, the beautiful, the handsome husband, you, handsome lady, and the babies that are coming up, right? Would love to see you there in the symposium. Make a registration, friends, since you are already there. Am I right? Can we count on you there? Can we? Shall we? I hope so. Bring your friends, Vanessa. We want to see the whole group there. Carol Correa is going to come here as well. Everybody's going to be there together forever. You stay in my heart and I will love you. I'm just fixing Kardec Radio here. For some reason, we're off. Hopefully back on. Now, let us observe here. We have our dear Jesus teaching us the bird songs and referring to the harmonies from above. Next time you're in nature, now for those who are going to enjoy either fall in some parts of the world, like Rihanna and Julija, Valeria, because you're in the South Hemisphere. For us, we're gonna be given the opportunity of spring, either or, be in nature, and try to extract these sublime teachings of the good by observing nature. But above all, he was always encouraging. He was always seeing the good no matter what. In the darkest scenarios, he always had the opportunity of seeing illuminated angles. Hello, Daniel Castellani and Monica. How are you, friends? Here we are together, huh? You want to know? So you saw James and John came to see Jesus, okay? Came to see Jesus. And he wanted to ask a question. He wanted to know if Jesus would be able to tell them about any enlightened angle from the case, the dramatic case of the arrest of a confessed thief. Let us see. In fact, after embracing Jesus, James, the son of Zebedee, went on to tell him the unpleasant occurrence in long and useless phrases. This is Humberto de Campos, as funny as always, with his take on it. This is his take on it. He said that James was very lengthy at describing the whole scenario, because he wanted to make sure Jesus, he was like testing, but not in a sarcastic way. He wanted to learn from the master and see, can the master bring anything enlightening from this? Can we make a test for us now? For you and I. Test time. There was a criminal in Caesarea, and he was flagrantly caught in audacious robbery attempt for that lasted 6 consecutive months. He was informed of a vast set of jewels belonging to an important Roman family. For 180 days, this criminal had secretly dug the rocky wall so as to plunder the precious things without witnesses. He pretended to be a miserable slave. He had been beaten in the flesh. He went through hunger and thirst. Those were the determinations by the insolent foreman. He had worked from sunrise to sunset in a field not far from patrician residence in order to simply take advantage of the night in the elimination of the obstacle that blocked him from possessing the chemists and the jewels, the nets of gold, and the bright bracelets. On the last night of subtle labor, he was followed by meticulous guard. When he touched his greedy hands in the immense treasure, behold, 2 muscular guards grabbed him fast. He sought to escape, but in vain. Rude slaps smashed his face, and blood ran profusely from his arms. Stunned, beaten, after suffering heavy humiliation, the unhappy man, almost dying, was put on irons under conditions in which perhaps he would not have been able to wait for the sentence of death. The master listened to the long narrative in silence. Are you in silence? The master is teaching us to be mindful, listening in silence but mindfully. Since Jesus observed the expectant attitude of the apprentices, he knew what they wanted, right? He fixed the powerful and sweet gaze on them and said, "If the practice of evil requires so much intelligence and service from a man, let us imagine our need for understanding. Let us calculate our need for understanding, for devotion, and for perseverance in the sacrifice that calls us to perform the true good." Soon after, Jesus walked away, thoughtful, while the 2 young companions looked at each other in surprise, not knowing what to reply. This is an unexpected observation by Jesus. Are you surprised? Quite surprising. Jesus is able and has ever been able, when he came here in the flesh to date, he is able to see the good in the darkest scenario. In the story of the man who is a criminal, he was able to see the good. Saying, well, if this man spent 180 days doing this, now imagine what we can do if we persevere to do the good. Next time you see some bad news, let's do an exercise, shall we? To see the good. Let's seek the good in the darkest scenarios. Can we see the good? Seek the good? Can we? If you are from Brazil, you know about the scandal about the meat, right? And people are like, oh my gosh, these people seek the good. Wonderful. People probably are gonna eat less meat. Second, and third, and the other, and the other. So I don't know. But there must be something good in store for us, no matter how bad it sounds. Exactly. We are given opportunity to seek the good. So that's it. Instead of going home and saying, oh my gosh, I only see bad news. But we see what we want to see. You see what you want to see. You hear what you want to hear. Right? Right, Fred? Elisete Cunha, how are you, my friend? So, that's the challenge for us. That's the homework. The homework for all of us in the next 24 hours is whatever dark scenario that comes to you, either directly or indirectly, let's make an effort, and with Jesus in our hearts and minds, let's seek the good. There must be something in store. All we need to do is to dig. You know, this man was digging for 180 days, going through the toughest time just to achieve the treasure. And the true good is the treasure, right? And some people are like, Vanessa, but I'm not naive to be that optimistic. This is not naivety. No, what is it? Your thought is your life. Your thought is your life. No, it's not Pollyanna syndrome. It's worthwhile seeking the good in all circumstances. Of course, we are realistic. Jesus has never been unrealistic, but he was optimistic by nature. Why? Because we are made of what? What we're made of? Light. You are light. You are peace. You are joy of living. 'Cause you are light and you are peace and you are joy of living. Every morning when I take Virginia to school, I've learned with the Spirit Mentors. I sing these verses to every driver that comes our way. Why? Because we are working to be productive in our thoughts, words, and feelings. And you play around with the song. 'Cause you are light and you are love and you are joy of living. And you can also sing in Portuguese. Você é luz, você é paz, você é a alegria de viver. And you are, and I am. So that's what Jesus is doing. Let's not forget perspective here. Jesus is a cosmic master. And I say cosmic in the sense he's beyond our solar system. He knows beyond our solar system. He knows he's already harmonized with the divine mind. And as such, he's telling us it's worthwhile seeking the good, feeling the good, visualizing the good. I can visualize us meeting in Orlando this May 5th together, rejoicing. And I would love to sing to everybody. And I'm not going to say I'm going to sing there. No. I'm just going to say they're going to have music. I bet they will. But sing, embracing, feeling the joy. It's a treat for us, right? Bring together, friends. Bring everybody together. Why? Because it's a way for us to strengthen ourselves. Each and everybody who's organizing it is giving their souls to be there. Bring your friends. Rejoice. Take some time off and bring everybody together so we can be there with one another. Rudy, Thank you. Do not complain. From Emmanuel. You're right. Vanessa, you're singing that to the babies. Thank God. They're going to be so happy and joyful. Julija. Beautiful Julija. Right? But let us not forget, Jesus again teaches us the silence, the mindfulness, the powerful and sweet look, teaching the lesson to all of us, telling us, if the practice of evil requires so much intelligence and service from a man, let us imagine our need for understanding, devotion, and perseverance in the sacrifice that calls us to perform the true good. Is it worthwhile? Push, the envelope and really walking the extra mile and really flying another mile to be together, creating this beautiful current of constructive thoughts, praying together for peace and exercising this feeling of fraternity and brotherhood. Shall we, friends? You want a song? You do. Me too. Me 3, me 4, me 5. What is that gonna be? What is that gonna be? All you need is love. All you need is love. Love is all we need. Yes, children of God. Let us stay here, meditate, rejoice, share the good news, and don't be afraid of being optimistic. Because if you are, you're going to be so aligned with God, you're never going to regret. It's the best connection we can ever have. Okay? A big hug of gratitude, a kiss of friendship. And until tomorrow, when we're going to study chapter 34 of the book Luz Acima. Until tomorrow, God willing.